I grew up intimate, and I'm dysfunctional, so I don't do well with intimacy, so a little uncomfortable. Tell a true story. Winters are hard for me. I don't see snowmen. I don't have snowball fights. I don't feel fireplaces at Christmas. Footprints in the snow remind me of abandoned family, and the wind sings a song of evil. I committed a murder once. Benny was my oldest brother, my light on the darkest days. He was buried in Potter's Field, a nameless junkie, no gathering by his grave, but he deserves to have his story told, how he froze in the cold. And this is what I always say. I tell people, my brother had the bluest eyes. Like exotic ocean, subtle in motion, no rage, no riptides, told me no lies. His eyes were like perfect skies, 2 windows to a soul full of blues. Benny's eyes were the deepest blue. It's too bad Mom despised the view. See, Benny was a product of a rape. She made sure he always knew. Nevertheless, when he taught me how to shoot dope, I was 13. I swear I saw his soul shine through him and these eyes of vibrant hue, beautiful. Until an illness consumed him in stages. We, his kin, labeled him contagious and chased him away with malice galore until one day death chased him back to our door with the legion of lesions that chose his pleading face to invade. And I could see the sickness as soon as I lifted the shade. My brother no longer able, but I was Cain, just staring at him through a window pane as he tried to turn his fate around on our locked doorknob, and AIDS had enshrouded his flesh like an angry mob when he said, "John, open the door." He needed new heroin for his veins to wear. Shooting dope was always a family affair. We couldn't at least give him some clean clothes or a shower to wash his flesh. We were ignorant to this illness and afraid to enmesh. We called it the junkie bug back in '84 when I was a 14-year-old junkie standing at the door staring at the most beautiful blue eyes I had ever seen. And I reluctantly recall the relentless snowfall that painted the shameful scene the day we treated this human being like less than a human being. He said, "John, stop playing, it's cold. Open the door." Someone said, "John, don't open that fucking door." And he said, "John, please, I'm sick." They said, "John, don't, he's sick." I wondered if my mother wasn't in prison, would she even have let him in? I knew denying him was a sin. His lips were now the deepest blue. What the fuck did I know? I was just a junkie too when I pulled down the shade, allowing 2 inches of wooden ambivalence to pervade, and the banging stopped as soon as I banged more dope. And it was amazing how an injection of oblivion made reality sting easier to cope when winter's wind kissed him like we could have. The darkness hugged him like we should have. And death accompanied him, my kin, to an abandoned car in Brooklyn where he froze. Because his flesh and blood back home had just grown so cold, and I wonder what his blue eyes then saw. I wonder what it was like in hell to thaw. I know I'll find out when I hear death's call. He must have shivered for hours all alone. And I've tried to tell myself that maybe it was a better place than home. So winters are hard for me. I don't see snowmen or have snowball fights. I don't feel fireplaces at Christmas. Footprints in the snow still remind me of abandoned family, and the wind still sings that song of evil. Because I'm a murderer. And I'm sorry. Benny, I am so, so sorry.